It may be cruel, poetic, or blind, but when denied, it's violence you may find.
Justice. The answer's justice.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's Chris Weird 25 here, and today we're gonna be doing the Batman review. Now, I know that me and Andy are very, 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 very late for this, but it's all because of scheduling issues. But that does not matter because we are here now and we're talking about it. Here I am once again with the wonderful Andy Solo.
Hello.
First things first, I want to start out with my rating for the Batman. Okay, so the Batman, a 9.8 out of 10. 9.8 out of 10. That's 100% my rating.
That's a good rating. I was gonna say 9.5.
Like a 9.5? Or
Yes.
Okay. Originally I actually had a 9.5, but I was like, wait a minute, I could change this however I want. I could take a 0.2 off instead. So that's what I did. I did 9.8 out of 10. Okay.
That's very specific. I love it.
Yeah, very specific. Okay, so my initial thoughts for going into this film is that I was extremely excited to see as people were building up the hype before, even after the movie was released. I was expecting like a new fresh take on Batman with a dark emo mood and a black and white noir feel to it. I was expecting a really great detective film, like overall.
I think I was going into it thinking a lot about The Dark Knight because I kept hearing people talking about The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way, it was like nothing like it, which made me really happy because I still really, really, really enjoyed it. It did give off much more of a Batman vibe than the Batman Dark Knight Rises ever did. Mostly
Mm.
because of, like, you mentioned the noir and the black. There was a lot of that, and I loved how gray and red it was. And I thought it was really interesting that they used a lot of red. Because you don't see that often. You see more of blue and red, and they focused a lot on red, and I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty happy at like how I went in, because it really like changed my mind about it.
Yeah, I could literally just go on and on about the colors and it just the way it looks. Let's talk about the movie experience. So I saw the movie a week later, which is March 12th, which is like, a week later than it came out. But the reason as to why I did that is that I didn't want to watch it when too many people were there and having to worry about someone coughing right next to me, which is like nice because I prefer it quiet and I actually really got to enjoy the movie for its whole thing. Also, this time I didn't watch it illegally. Luckily, there was someone there to check us in. Let's talk about your experience.
Alrighty, I think I went. I didn't go like opening night on a Thursday. I believe I went on Friday.
Hmm.
Do you have an iPhone, Chris?
I have an Android, Andy.
Do they have a wallet thing too? Like where you can keep all your tickets?
A wallet thing? You mean like thing to stick on the back, or?
No, so Apple has a wallet app, and it
Oh,
can keep all your cards and all your movie
yeah,
tickets.
yeah. Oh,
And
really?
I think I went. Yeah, I went the Friday of.
Mm.
So it was really full. It was fun though because it it didn't feel like Spider-Man No Way Home, but I still felt the excitement around me because anytime something cool happened, all you hear would be, "Oh, no way," or like, "Oh, did you see that?" Like whispering or like, "Oh my god, oh my god." So
Oh my
that
god.
was it. I really liked it. I
Hmm.
sat down to a really quiet person because I always take the corner seat when I go
Hmm.
with my friends. Um, but they were really quiet. They were awkward. I thought I thought we were gonna like it was gonna be a Batman issue because he just had his hands in his pockets the entire movie. He didn't even recline his seat or had popcorn or a soda. I was
but
scared.
but that man didn't. But as to why that man did that. He did it so that he didn't have to go to the bathroom or had to like feel like he had to use number one or number two.
That's that's true. I'm hoping that was it, but he was just like hand in pockets, just sitting and very straight. I like to kind of lay down at the movie theater,
Mm-hmm.
but he was just like,
Stiff as a brick.
yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, is he okay?" And I'm super happy that I didn't have to go to the bathroom.
Oh my god,
I did have
dude.
a whole lot. Did you go to the bathroom?
Yes, but I'll tell about it in a second. You finish first. You finish
Oh
first.
my god. I'm glad I didn't have to go to the bathroom, although I did keep hearing my stomach go. I was like, oh hell no. So I just sat there and I took it like a champ. But I did run to the bathroom after every after credit scene and the lights turned on and the screen was black.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, I held it.
Yeah, I had a bit of a different experience. Obviously, my thing went well overall. I got to sit in the middle seat, and even though paid for the certain seats I wanted, I was like, I moved further back, and I still sat in the middle, and I still enjoyed the movie to its fullest. Before I went to the film, I bought like a large soda and like a small medium popcorn, and I was drinking that soda because obviously I was thirsty, so I kept drinking it, and around halfway through, I started shaking very violently. My leg, yeah, my leg was shaking so bad, and I was like, "Oh my god, I don't want to miss anything." And halfway through the film, I said, I gotta go." I told my sibling, like, "Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. Give me a minute. I gotta go." Luckily, though, I didn't stop at anywhere important because I didn't want to go while something important was happening with some of the characters. I stopped at the bit where that like sunset shot where Batman and Selina Kyle were talking to each other.
Was the moment like very heated?
No, no, no. It was a calm one.
The calm one. Oh,
So
okay.
I used that bit as an intermission. So I went to the bathroom and I came back. Even though I missed that whole bit, which I wanted to see, I was like, you know what? It's better because I would not have because this was an intermission. It was very clear it was an intermission, and I didn't want to use it go use it later when something important was going on.
Yeah.
Let's see, afterthoughts. So the movie was so fucking good.
I agree. I 100% agree.
The storytelling was beyond amazing, and director Matt Reeves captured Bruce slash Batman's personality and character so well. The way the movie's directed is so beautiful that it's just eye candy for those who want to see something new among the whole entire superhero genre, and it could be the same for the cinematography. It's just fantastic.
Yes. Oh my god, the cinema, dude. Everything was recorded so beautifully, and
Mm-hmm.
was the Batman also delayed
Yes, it
for like a
was
whole year, right?
something like that. It was supposed to come out around October originally, but due to COVID restraints, they had to push the movie back.
I am so freaking glad that they did because it came out so good. It looked like they definitely did take their time,
Mm-hmm.
and just every shot I wanted to take a picture of. I thought it was so freaking beautiful, and the acting was really good. I love seeing Batman. Well, not Batman. Bruce not be this rich douche.
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing him emo because obviously his music taste and like his vibe literally just reminded me of myself. Like 5% of myself because he's way too cool. Way of a cooler emo than I ever freaking was. Uh but like I still can't get over it. It was so good. I watched it with my friends, and I'm super glad that I watched it a second time with my dad. And yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was
Yeah.
freaking amazing.
Actually, I missed one thing. So when we were talking about like this movie review, Andy yesterday that said that she's gonna watch the movie illegally before the movie review. So FBI, I caught her red-handed. I would appreciate my bounty money coming to my house. You guys know where I live.
$5.
$5 to Subway.
Dude, okay, so oh my god, I was researching. I couldn't find a single good link to watch it on. Very sad because I want to watch it again. But it comes out this month in HBO, right?
Yes, HBO Max is releasing the Batman on its app, obviously on online, so we'll be able to watch it soon, which is a
Hell
good
yeah, I'm
thing.
so excited.
So back to what I was saying. So the world building is great in Gotham. Having corrupt politicians, cops, and the mob having control with them with very little good people left in Gotham. It shows a cruel place with the good people being surrounded by everyone else. Everything feels real in this world with every little detail in every character and the surroundings like the Batmobile, the Batsuit, locations, plus overall Gotham scenery is just great. I would love to see what the future holds for Robert Pattinson's Batman, and this is why I would rate it a solid 9.8 out of 10. Thus, the movie is worth the 3 hours and should be looked at as a staple for future superhero movies / live action movies with its cinematography and writing. And I'll explain as to why I took the 2 points off, or the 0.2 points off, a little bit later.
How it felt super, super freaking real. Can we talk about that? Dude, some of the scenes I just felt like I was watching the news. Except like the really gory stuff that the Riddler like did. Because the Riddler, I think they did focus him on a psycho killer.
Yes.
Like the vibe of him. Did you watch the video I sent you?
Yes, I did.
It reminded me of him.
He's obviously reminded of, what's that serial killer called? The Zodiac Killer.
Yes. And there was like a movie with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. And Jake Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal. I can't say his name right. But that's why the movie reminded me most though.
Mm-hmm.
The Riddler reminded me of like scary killer documentaries, but like his little helpers reminded me a lot of like shooters and just mock shootings and whatnot. And that's why I had like really ugly gut feelings watching it sometimes.
I see. Next up is the small world of Gotham City. So Gotham City is a city in ruins. It's a mix of all the bad things in each city in the United States combined in one. The city feels so tight and narrow that it's hard to breathe without the fear of getting robbed, stabbed, shot, beaten, or even if you jaywalk at night and Batman's in the shadows or ready about to beat your ass, saying, "For justice!" Even though we don't see too many places in the movie, it added to the small world feel to it. Especially with the villains, the mob having a lot of control in Gotham's police department and mayor, since Carmine Falcone is said to be the real mayor for over 20 years, giving him that control.
Was it 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, yeah, Robert freaking Bruce Wayne's like a grown-ass adult.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. That's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
So he's always lived in an ugly, nasty city.
He did. He has. But it's not just him, it's everyone else too.
Yeah. Freaking. No wonder the Riddler was so crazy.
Yes, which is exactly the one of the main reasons. Okay. So the scenery is just beautiful. Like Batman standing over Gotham and one of the scene with Catwoman with the orange blue background, and other places like Selina's apartment, the GCPD, City Hall, Wayne Manor, the Ice Lounge, the underground hidden railway system that leads into the Batcave and Wayne Tower.
Oh my god, I wish we had more shots of the Wayne Tower. I feel like we only got like two or three.
Very few, little.
Yeah, and they're very short, which I guess like we do see the Wayne Tower in every other movie, so.
But there's a reason as to why that is.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I wish I saw more though.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to give credits to 3C Films for telling us about the prequel to the world of the Batman movie. He talks about the hidden railway system and explains as to why Bruce lives in Wayne Tower and not the manor, and the past of both Bruce and the Riddler's past and their upbringings, and for Riddler more so his downbringings, and even more throughout this review. So I'll have a link to that in the bottom of the description. It really talks about like a lot about the background of Bruce and Riddler's characters, and it's also stated to be sort of canon to the movie. So I actually watched that video before I went to the movie, and it actually gave me a lot more insight to understanding the whole world of Gotham.
The whole world of Gotham just has so much going on with it because of how many villains it has, and like many villains that we haven't even heard about yet, at least in like the big movie films. We've only heard about like the main, like 7 or 6? It's Harley, Joker, the Ice Guy, Poison Ivy, Riddler, and Penguin. But there's many, many more, and I'm kind of hoping that like they push more out. But I also have another thought. I don't know if you thought about this yet, but do you feel like they're trying to recreate the George Clooney movies, but like in a darker way.
No.
I I feel like that's what they're trying to push to because they already have Catwoman, the Penguin. Can we talk about the Joker yet? Do people know about the Joker yet?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. The Joker and the Riddler, and that's like already a really good amount of like that OG movie where
Mm-hmm.
like all the other evil people are just beating up on Batman, and I think Batgirl is in it too. I feel like that's what they're pushing for.
It's hard to tell because obviously Matt Reeves is trying to do a whole different like story. Obviously, there's so many characters, but there's so many different ways you can utilize. Kind of like the previous like Batman movies and shows, like portrayed them in very different ways. And I think this one is just the newest iteration of how we're perceiving them.
Okay, I see.
So next up is Batman slash Bruce Wayne. Now Bruce is such an anime emo kid. He gives off so much of those vibes. He has them problems, you know.
Oh my god, yes. Literally the first scene where they started pushing out the Nirvana song and when it literally when it's literally him turning the song down, I'm like, "Oh my god, he's listening to it." I was like, "He's such a fucking emo." I loved it. I loved it. It was literally me in a movie. It was great.
Okay, so let's get this straight right out the bat. Robert Pattinson deserves the respect and love for portraying an amazing Batman and Bruce Wayne. He is not an MCU sappy, happy, sarcastic, funny, loving superhero. He is very clearly a vigilante and takes himself very serious about this. He is feared based on the people, police, random thugs, and MCU and Disney stands are shit. Like, they don't know Batman's character at all if they think he's like any of those funny, loving types.
In the cartoons, he's definitely a little dorky.
Yes.
But I did see a lot of like MCU, like Marvel fans like myself, um complaining in a way that it was too dark. But like if they were to ever to pick up a freaking comic book, they would realize that like Iron Man and every superhero that we love is honestly just as dark as Batman and could be as dark as Batman if they let Disney do that. So I'm like, the Batman I thought it was great. Like
Yeah.
I love how serious and in a way he's really awkward. He's not a douche yet, like I mentioned. Like Iron Man is a huge douche and like he thinks very big of himself and I love it, but I was really happy to not see Bruce be that way yet. I keep hearing and reading that maybe in the next movie he's gonna be like that. I'm kind of hoping maybe towards the end of the second movie he's like that because I really like seeing the shy, awkward Bruce.
Yes, yes.
He's still so sad, you know? I
Yeah.
love it.
Anyways, the whole movie is based around Bruce's perspective as he is understanding, discovering clues, and we learn with him. We follow what the Riddler's leading up to, and even though the police caught him, he threw us all in the 180 at the end, not finding the final clue till it was too late.
That shit caught me off guard because again, I'm such a freaking Marvel fan and every Marvel movie except Infinity War was every other movies with a really good ending and like the heroes win. So I was so happy to see Gotham like fall. I was really
Yeah.
happy for that.
It literally surprises like literally last minute, and you're like, what?
Huh? Batman didn't save the world? What? I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. Anyways, Batman be like me for real. The way he's antisocial, doesn't talk to anyone. He's constantly in his room 24/7. His room being like Batcave. He hates guests and sunlight. Wears sunglasses and is pale as fuck. I wouldn't be surprised if Robert's Bruce had a gaming PC and played Doom when he was younger.
Dude, I just know damn well he's playing freaking like League of Legends on that crazy ass setup he has in the Batcave. I just fucking know. He's such a loner.
Now he's playing Doom, Doom Eternal, all those Doom games, like any horror games, he would be playing that.
That's where he got his inspiration for the suit and whatnot. He's like, oh, this is good.
This is good content right here. But Batman really do be like me because he cannot talk to women. Like he cannot talk to Catwoman at all. But This is why a lot of guys relate to him. They see themselves in him, which makes sense to the director, which makes sense to the director making Batman very human, very real.
Literally. Like, my friend is very much like him. He's so shy. He doesn't like when people come in.
He
Or
thinks
like
he's Batman.
randoms. Yes. All the dude. He told me that he's been listening to Nirvana. He was never the emo kid, I guess, like me. He was more of like a skater dude that
Uh-huh.
listened to freaking techno and dubstep
Oh
music.
my
So
lord.
he's like, he's really good. And I'm like, Kurt Cobain? And he's like, yeah, I like him. And he's
Oh
had
my
the
lord.
playlist, the Batman playlist and the Nirvana playlist, like on repeat ever since. It's
Honestly, I
hilarious.
honestly I cannot blame him because I've been playing like the Batman like theme like so many times. I've been listening to it and I'm like thinking in my room like I'm a detective who's worked 20 years in the force and he's seen so much shit. He's lost his wife. He got beaten up so many times and he has that death stare to like everyone. Very
Dude,
cool.
yes.
That's how it feels like.
Oh man, I love taking personalities from every movie I
Oh my
watch.
god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like right when I got out, I was like seriously running to the bathroom, but like I'm running away from somebody evil. You know what I mean?
You pull your coat like it's a cape. You're like, okay, so the movie it removes the philanthropist rich bitch persona, as he doesn't see himself like that. He sees nothing more than a man putting on a mask to seal his identity to try to make Gotham a better place. Or at least he thinks that. At least I love how he fights without using gadgets, and more so really cool fighting techniques. I love the parts where he grabs other people's like weapons and uses it against them. Like he grabs their end of their gun, he smacks the back of their head of it. The one scene when he was in
Yes.
the ice lounge and he grabbed that bat and he was about to bash the dude's head in, and he's like, "Hey, hey!" It's like, "Put the thing down or I'll blow your head off." And he just threw the bat at the guy. It was one of the officers that was a bit crooked
Yeah.
or a bit crooked.
The broken nose, right?
Yes,
Yeah, it was him.
the movie shows how great of a detective Batman really is. He's really one of the smartest men in the room. Being able to figure out the thumb drive with the mayor's actual thumb, like his severed thumb, looking at Selina and figuring out she is the missing person's roommate, then using her to his advantage to get intel inside the Iceberg Lounge, solving the Riddler's riddles when Phil Coulson, or District Attorney Phil Coulson, had a bomb around his neck, using the carpet tucker to hide all the evidence of the bombs at the water blockage throughout the city. I love how
I really loved it. Can I say something
yeah
real quick?
yeah.
I think he became throughout his years, he became super freaking aware of his surroundings, and that's why he's a really good detective. And it's because his parents obviously died.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why he's a good detective because he's constantly like looking at everything to try and get an answer, which is something I think he wishes he could have done when he was younger, find an answer. Which
Yeah,
that's why I think he's great.
that's very smart actually. I did not think about that.
Big brain.
Big brain. Let's see. I love how the movie first two acts focus on Batman. Then in the third act, we focus on Bruce and his family's past, and which I'll explain later on about the family's past, and him figuring out what the like Riddler's whole game plan was. And he had that whole thing like laid out on the floor. That was
Yes.
like genius.
I love that scene. He pushed the fucking table. It made me want to go try and push a table. I could never, but like I wanted to.
Even though in the end Batman lost the fight, he won the war. As he took down Falcone, District Attorney Phil Coulson, the Riddler, and anyone else that also may have been involved with this issue. And even though the two of these guys have died, this humbled Batman as he learned from showing he's still new to the game. He decides to become a hero for the people of Gotham, which he realizes is what they need.
I'm really happy that like in a way he did not have the city at his side. The cops didn't like him at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really happy that he won the heart of the city because he's there to protect them. He's not there to like fuck around like the Riddler and like the Penguin and everybody. He's there to help the city. And I'm glad that his city, Gotham, finally like understood that, even though some bad stuff had to happen. Now, let's talk about Alfred. Oh my goodness. Okay, I really like him. He's a really good actor. I don't think he's won an Oscar, but I feel like he deserves one. He was
Mm-hmm.
literally in the Planet of the Apes. Like that was one of his
Yeah.
biggest movies, and the way he acts like an ape is
Mm-hmm.
insane. Because I could I could never like I could try, but I could never do that. Like the fact that you can act like an animal
Uh-huh.
and walk like an animal is kind of crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um he's always been a really huge part of Batman, and I really enjoyed that he was there, but I feel like he didn't have very many scenes where he's trying to help Batman as much as like the other movies have had or even the cartoon. Um and to me his vibe was really cozy. He really did feel like a dad for Bruce, which
Yeah.
which I really love. He wasn't like all too serious. He was really caring. And like it made me so sad. Are we gonna talk about the like explosion and whatnot?
Yes, we will.
Okay. It made me so sad, but it also caught me off guard to see Alfred be hurt.
Mm.
Because in other movies, we don't see him like get punched, get killed, get shot, or anything. In this movie, we saw Bruce almost lose another loved one.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was insane. I love how smart Alfred is. He's like one of the smartest dudes in there. And I wish he could work for the police because he's also like a detective. The
Mm-hmm.
way he figured out the Riddler's weird little spellings and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was crazy. Did he drown? Like, did Batman try to get him out of the building before? No, no, he didn't because he didn't even know. They didn't figure out the bombs. Oh my God, did he drown?
What do you mean drown?
Well, like the city freaking flooded.
Oh yeah,
I
but
wonder if he was in like
no,
a lower room or a higher room.
no, he was still in the hospital.
Yeah, but like, is he hurt?
He's no, he's fine.
He's okay. I thought he like died.
No.
When I watched the movie twice, I thought he died because towards the end they did not add him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The bombs exploded and Gotham freaking drowned, like drowned. So I was like, I wonder if he got saved, if like Batman had the chance to go get him.
No, because he was still in City Hall.
Ah, okay, okay. Okay, then I thought he got fucking hurt because I was like, it doesn't. If Batman couldn't figure out that there was bombs all around the like Gotham,
Mm-hmm. But no,
Alfred is just in the hospital.
no, he's fine. Because they wouldn't kill him off screen if he's such an essential character.
But imagine though, that would have hurt my feelings.
That would be crazy. Okay, so my thing on Alfred was that he's played by obviously the amazing Andy Serkis, who's played Ulysses Claw in the MCU, and also has done Planet of the Apes and Lord of the Ring movies. Alfred, he is a very on the side character. He isn't by Bruce's side 24/7 helping him out. He also isn't a major part of Bruce's life, as Bruce never saw him as a father figure. He just sees him as a guardian. And it isn't until later when Riddler sends a bomb to Wayne Tower to try to kill Bruce, but deeply wounded Alfred instead. Now that scene, man, like when Batman realized that, he rushed to come home, but when he realized that the incident had already happened and Alfred was being taken to the hospital, and which I can say I am mad about, because Matt Reeves had us thinking that Alfred was about to open the mail, and Bruce and actually no, and Batman would have come in last second to save Alfred, but he said psych, and the accident had already happened, and he played with us even more when the phone was ringing and we saw the reception answered, and when the camera panned back, which to show the firemen were inside the building and half the apartment was burned, and it wasn't until after Alfred almost died that Bruce realized that he had someone to protect. After he roasted the fuck out of Alfred for no reason. Like,
dude, he didn't even get a chance to wake up yet.
like, come on, man. The dude's in the hospital, just woken up from a real bad injury. But, alright, whatever. Overall, I love Alfred, and I can't wait to see more of him in the following Batman films.
I can't wait either. He's such a good actor, and I was like, it pissed me off that Bruce was so freaking mad at Alfred. I was like, Alfred would never lie to you, or at least that harshly.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could never. He loves you and he wants to protect you. And I'm
Yes.
really happy that towards the end he like told him like, I do have someone else that I'm scared to lose. because he's like, oh, I don't have nobody. Like, I've already lost my parents, but I'm glad he finally realizes, if Alfred dies, I feel like he'd go crazy.
Next up, let's talk about the Batsuit. So overall, I love the design of the Batsuit. I love how tacky the suit is. It makes it feel realistic as his bulletproof armor with his belt and having all the tools he needs and how he used them, most of them at the end when he actually did need them. I also love how they said that Batman wears makeup. You know he's a usual customer at like Ulta or Sephora buying all them black eyeshadow. He's probably buying the whole stock.
He's beating me to it, damn it.
That's where it's going. I mean, they say Gotham is based in New Jersey, so basically, I guess.
Oh my god, I forget Jersey Shore. Have you seen that show?
No, I don't watch that show.
I watched it when I was very younger, and you said New Jersey. The Jersey Shore girls wear so much eyeliner, like under their eyes and whatnot.
That's where you got the idea from.
He's at home watching Jersey Shore. Got nothing better to do.
But saying that it isn't just a mask covering most of his eyes, so it makes sense because mostly all the other films they said that the mask covered their whole face of each actor's like mask. But this is saying like no, he actually did put black makeup around the like inside of his eyes and then put the mask on. Which many people
love seeing him get ready.
Which many people on like TikTok and like Twitter have all like made jokes about, made memes about, and it's just absolutely hilarious.
Oh my god, I love it. I think they pan to the Batman signal, and then the girls like run to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And like they try and run. I love that because I feel like maybe he had to do that one time, but like one scene, he's taking his sweet time in that bathroom. He was taking his time. He wants to make it perfect.
Yeah. He want to make those like sharp edges look clean.
Yeah. No. He's like, oh fuck, there's too much on my cheek.
Also, I found it interesting how he has a unique contact lens he wears, which allows him to record and play back moments when he needs to look back on.
I thought that was very 2022. I loved it.
It was very unique and very like new because I honestly did not expect that to be part of the movie at all.
Me neither. Like when you first watched the very first trailer when they announced the Batman, did you also think that the movie was going to be based on like a really long time ago?
Yeah,
because like the way they dressed, right?
Yeah, I was gonna write that in the beginning on like my initial thoughts, but I was like thinking no because I don't have no timeline to go back to because I can't say the 90s. I can't say the 80s or 70s because people would look different. But like how far it would have been? It can't be the 1800s because it doesn't make any sense. It would have to be around 19 something.
Because it felt like the style, everything they wore, and just the way Gotham looked. I was like, what year is this based on? But he has all that fancy gear, and people had iPhones.
Yeah.
So I was like very surprised to see that, and the new cars too. I was like, wait.
Yeah, and the way like their Times Square kind of looking at the center of the city look. I was like, yeah, this is based on now. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, they must like the early 80s or something.
No, it can't be the early 80s. The
Not
iPhone... It's based on now.
Right?
It's based on now.
Style. It was so weird to me.
The style and the way everything looks definitely looks very old and retro. Like 50s, 40s. Yes. But like, 50s. It's crazy.
It was new.
It was new. Like... Yeah, it took me by surprise. So... Batman took so many beatings, but I love it. His suit protected him, and it shows that he's still sort of new to the Batman gig. Also, I love how the suit doesn't protect him like 100%, and he still gets bruises and cuts and all throughout his body. Like you saw this once he took off the shirt, and you saw all the bruises on his back. It was crazy.
Dude, when he's flying and he hits himself. On the fucking train thing. Oh my god, that shit also caught me off guard, but I'm like, you need to fix your suit. You're gonna like die. He was just rolling. He was like, trying to walk. I thought that was great. I'm glad it wasn't as funny as MCU movies. It wasn't quirky. I'm glad that was like the only scene that had me. No, not the only scene. Like the second or first scene that made me giggle. Oh, the penguin when he waddles. That one was funny too.
What scene?
When they catch the penguin and they tie his feet and his arms, and he's waddling like a penguin, like, "Hey, don't leave me here." That's the second one that made me giggle
Oh,
a
okay.
lot.
See, I love the grappling hook. It felt slow pulling Batman up, but also I loved how it was connected to his suit. Kind of like in Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro having the whole gun up his sleeve thing. It was like a very nice touch to like an old film, but giving it such a modern taste. Because he had the grappling hook here, and he just went, and the whole thing just pops out of his hand. It was so badass. I love that.
Dude, people kept saying they didn't see him use the stuff on his arms, and I was like, no, that's the stuff he's like throwing to grapple and things, right?
No, he's not throwing the things here. He's throwing.
No?
He's using that grapple gun.
What was the things here then? Oh, well, now I'm questioning myself.
Yeah.
What was it?
Okay, so that's actually a very funny thing. So let me actually come back here and
Pull the Funko out. Pull it.
so the Batman released many different Funkos. This one in particular is the second design, and this one is I'm not sure. Let me see. So the side of it, as you can see, it shows like these little grappling hooks on like the side. That actually shows on the top bit of his arms, and that was supposed to actually mimic the scene when he was fighting the Riddlers. But the thing is, that to me was a bit inaccurate because when he grabbed the Riddlers, he didn't grab them with the things on the top. He grabbed them with a grappling like gun from the bottom of his arms. Like he shot it up from both hands, shot them, and pulled them down. It was an actual grapple gun. It was never the thing on top of that.
Oh
My
god.
And since you're asking what those things are, they're literally nothing other than just decorative pieces because he has not used them.
Oh, well, I want him to use them next because they're pointy. Those shits, like, maybe if he wants, he could take them out, throw them like what is it? Star knives or whatever. It kind of bugged me. I was like, he's using them, right? Like, that's what he's whoosh, and flying and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not.
He's not. It's just there for decorative piece.
Whack.
I do miss the cape being like the actual glider. Instead, they have him using a jumpsuit. But it's still cool how the jumpsuit worked, and it was definitely funny when he tried to glide himself to safety. But then he ate shit the bus, like he ate shit hitting the bus, the sidewalk, and then the pavement. And then he got back up and he's like, oh, fuck.
Like, that was so funny. I loved it.
To me, it didn't make sense as to why, like, when he used the jumpsuit and then he tried to use a parachute, like, to slow down, but then he was about to hit the underpass of a train. That's literally the worst way you can die.
Literally,
because the train is passing through. It could literally cut onto the little, like, part of the parachute. He could literally choke on it and he could die, or he could literally get, like, slammed into the back of the train.
The train and the bus, both of them. Like, I don't know where his big detective brain went. And
yeah, and I was like,
like
that moment, you should not have pulled the parachute. You should have just like landed and you would have been fine if you landed.
Yeah, it would have. Or if he landed somewhere different. I know he's trying to get his bike, but
no, I think if he like went to the underpass and then just turned around and landed on his back, he would have been just fine. He would have been just.
You can hit the floor, but you didn't have to hit the floor like that.
Yeah, you don't have to hit the floor like that. You know.
Oh, I thought it was great. I thought it was a nice touch of a giggle moment because I like those. I don't like being scared and serious the entire time. I like a little joke, at least one.
Yeah, a little joke. Like that was actually kind of funny. Not like the Disney stands.
It's a joke every 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, I fucking hate
and like I read a lot of Marvel comics, and they are kind of quirky, but not that often.
Not that it only pulls up when it needs to be, not when you're forcing it to. That's the problem with the MCU films. They kept forcing it, and they kept killing the momentum.
I know. Hulk.
No Way Home.
Literally. They did too much of a fan service.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's still an amazing movie.
I'm afraid of watching it on like Amazon because I saw it with the filters everyone said, the old like vintage like filters from the old movies, and I'm afraid of watching it again to see how horrible the film actually is.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, it hurts me. But I don't want to see it and ruin it.
Oh, let me say one more thing about Batman.
Yeah, go ahead.
The entire movie. If you know me, if you follow me anywhere, I love Daredevil so much. Daredevil and Moon Knight, both of them are in a way like the Batman of our universe. And it just reminded me of the Daredevil comics and the Daredevil show, of the Netflix show that's now on Disney+. It reminded me so much of him because they kept saying the word vigilante, and in Daredevil they use it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
and Batman doesn't like violence, but he still beats the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Daredevil does the same thing. He's like, no guns, or like, don't shoot them. Let me just fucking beat them up to the ground, you know? So if you like Daredevil, I think, especially the show, not the Ben Affleck movie, I'd definitely recommend watching the Batman. I think you guys would really enjoy it.
So at the end of the movie, where you see he is knocked out and Selina's being choked by the Riddler gang member, he uses a vial to give him a boost. So people online stated that it's not venom that Vane uses, and instead it's called adrenaline rush, which is related to the comics, where it's actually a pill that makes him stronger, but makes him go a little bit crazy and gets him addicted. And honestly, that idea can go both ways. So the director did not say this at all. The community did. So Matt Reeves can choose either of the two, whether he wants to make it either Venom or Adrenaline Rush.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. I hope he answers that question soon, because I mostly thought it was just adrenaline, because he's used it in every single movie and he uses it a lot in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But because of like that specific green color that it was at,
Yeah.
that's why a lot of people kept saying, "Oh, it's Bane's," and I'm like, "Ooh, I wonder." But like, he just started off, so I don't think he's gotten Bane in jail, the Joker, and many other.
No, but I think it's definitely a drug he found. Like, he found out about. Not because he took down Bane. I don't think that at all. I think he found out about it, and it was like a little nod to him. But like I said, like Matt Reeves can just take that whatever he wants.
And I want him to. I want to know.
Alright, so next up we have Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon, who's played by Jeffrey Wright, is an amazing, like, Gordon. He's one of the few good people in Gotham, and he isn't commissioner yet, and he's just a lieutenant. He has already met Batman, and is one of the only people that trust him, like, 100%. Gordon puts his trust in this man, while everyone else in the police force does not like him, does not want him, and would rather arrest him for being a vigilante. The scene where he gets knocked out from the explosion and he has all the cops around him was so intense. And then after he talked to Gordon, Jim helped him escape the police station. Thus, he was able to, go out, go to the middle, and go do that whole cool scene where he's like launches himself upwards. Overall, I love Jim Gordon, and all of his scenes were just amazing. Also, his captain is a jackass, but I love that man's voice. He's like, "I got you on assaulting an officer." And then Batman's like, "You got me on assaulting 3." And Jim is just like, "God fucking damn it, man."
He's like, "Chill out, I'm trying to help you out." Then my friend kept saying that the officer, what's his name? The captain, it sounded like he was getting his balls squished. Because his voice was like he was holding on to dear life, like his last breath.
Right?
So I was like, what is going on with him?
He definitely has the smoker voice.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, good choice. Whatever.
He's like, "What'd you say?" I got
He's so short.
He's so short. He's like, "I got you on assaulting an officer."
It was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say, I liked him a lot. Jim Gordon. He definitely takes the second spot because Batman The Dark Knight, we have our own Jim Gordon, and I thought he was amazing as well. I like that we didn't see very much about his family, because he always like talks about his son and his wife and whatnot.
It's his daughter.
And his daughter.
No, it's a daughter.
Are you sure? It's a son in the Dark Knight.
No, it was a daughter. No, well, maybe in that film, but in this movie,
this one it's a daughter.
Well, mostly in the comics, it's just the daughter. Remember, it's him, it's Barbara Gordon, and then his wife that like passed away before, like sometime after she was born or something like that.
Yo, I didn't know that. Fun fact of the day. I swear, I thought it was a son.
No, it was Barbara. It was Oracle.
My God, you're so fucking right. That's funny. Okay, well, I like that they didn't include very much of his family. I like that it was just him helping Batman, being the only good cop there. I don't know. How long did they know each other? Because he was mentioning when they were getting the thumb drive.
So basically, they've worked together for about 2 years up to this point. Mm-hmm.
And he has yet to show his face. I don't think he ever finds out.
No, he doesn't.
No. I thought he was funny. His voice was like kind of low anytime he was on the scene. That's why it took up a couple points. I could not, I couldn't hear him, especially when they had that whispering scene at the sheriff's or the cop's place when they were trying to take his mask
Oh,
off.
the police department.
Yeah, they were. I know they were whispering, but like, man, his whisper's really low. I thought the acting on that scene was okay because like the way he kept turning his face like he was angry. I was like, ooh, there's tension. Kiss.
Oh my god.
But I really liked him and how much he supports Batman and like he likes Batman. He knows he's trying to do his best. That's what I gotta say about him.
Following up from Jim Gordon, we have Selina Kyle, also known as Catwoman.
Yes, people dragged her on the internet though. Let's talk about. I must still say I love her. Her acting was beautiful.
Yes, it is time for a segment of simping, or our simping segment, as you prefer. Zoe Kravitz, Selina Kyle, Catwoman. It's just beautiful. Her casting is amazing. Her acting is top notch, and her relationship with Robert's Batman is also amazing. She knows how to get a man like wrapped around her finger.
Does. You know what I loved about Catwoman in this movie?
What?
They hinted at her bisexuality. And
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. I was like, your girlfriend? I was like, oh my god, yes! I thought it was amazing because if you know Catwoman or if you've seen any of the shows or anything in general, she has like some love for Poison Ivy and some love for Harley Quinn. And I just love that they threw that out right at the beginning. I'm like, yes, bisexual.
But that's something that's crazy though, because she literally has a girlfriend, and once she goes missing, she goes all over Bruce. Like, damn, chill, bro. Chill. Like, it was so quick. Like, goddamn.
She just died. Literally, she just died, and she's out here kissing Bruce.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
I guess I'll forget about her.
Yeah. She is portrayed as a beautiful woman who is an expert in robbery and stealing. She also works at the club, sort of, but we don't really know what Selina does for work exactly. She could be a bartender or a hooker. We don't truly know. Like, we obviously know that she steals and stuff, but like, I mean, actual, like, at the lounge, what does she do?
She was just the bartending girl.
Yeah.
If you've ever gone to the club, I've only gone once. You have a girl that just brings you alcohol. So I'm hoping that's it, because I feel like she grew up there because of her mom. So maybe she didn't want to do like the gross stuff. Maybe she just wanted to put the drinks, and I'm hoping that's it.
You don't know. You don't know that.
I know.
Okay, so Catwoman's costume is really cool. It's simple, not too complex. The mask was a bit funny though, as it barely covered like anything of her face. But she was never caught stealing anything, so I guess that's a reason as to why the mask looks like that. But that wasn't until Batman stalked her. And I love how she carries like a duffel bag with all of her tools, which is very practical. One weird thing I saw, like, you ever notice how long her nails are?
Yep, from the beginning I was like,
yeah, they're so sharp, and that was obviously to encapsulate the sharp nails that cats have. And I have to say, they look very uncomfortable to have on and just do mundane tasks, like, because you're just gonna be poking yourself constantly due to how sharp those guys are.
dude. So I don't know if in the movie they went for like, oh, these are meant to be acrylics, like they're fake nails. But when I like kept looking at her fingers, I think like she grew them out that way, which I think is really, really cool. I think it's cool that she didn't go get them done to look pretty at the club. I think it's awesome that she grew those really long, strong nails herself. And I'm really happy that she uses them to protect herself. And at a place like is it called the Iceberg or whatever?
The Iceberg Lounge.
Iceberg Lounge, I am glad that she has those nails to, like, you know, smack anybody that tries to disrespect her or anything like that.
Yeah, and
that's why I like them.
And I also recently found out that was actually Zoe's idea for the claws. Stated in her interview that like throughout the pandemic, she started growing out her nails, and she had the idea for the claws. She called up Matt Reeves and told him about the idea, and he loved it.
Yeah, it just makes sense. I feel like she even has long nails in the comics too, and for that specific purpose.
Yes,
I love that.
She does have long nails, but they're like part of her gloves. And to me, the only thing that doesn't make sense is that how she wears like certain gloves over them. because in the beginning she had like the flat gloves, and then they immediately right after changed it to the long nails and all that stuff.
She like has to go get gloves and then she has to cut them. She's like, fuck. Fuck
Yeah.
shit. And same thing with the suit. I thought it was very simple and in a good way. Like I feel like she maybe went to Party City, found a black suit. She's like, yeah, this works. I can move in this. And the mask, that shit's fucking hilarious. It literally covers her tiny little nose, and that is it. Yeah, I was like, I think you could identify her like right away. But I love it. I wonder if made her little beanie look like little cat ears, or if that's how they came out. She's like, "Yep, I like this," and she just went with it.
It just looks so beautiful, like simple but really nice.
It was adorable, and then her looks for the club. I thought they were lovely. I thought she looked gorgeous. She everyone kept clowning on her for the way she was walking, but I loved it. It was just like, yeah, that's the club. She kind of has to like walk like she's in like, oh my god. Have you seen the TikTok memes of girls walking like the GTA characters?
Yes. And Selina walks exactly like that. She looks like a GTA stripper.
Literally, I was like hips first. Oh my god! When I noticed that, I was like, "It's hot, but like, why?" But I love it. You know, like I couldn't. It was a hate-love relationship. It was great.
It was the funniest walk. I loved it. Yeah. That's the part that made me laugh.
Yeah, my friends were just drooling the entire time. It was lovely.
My lord!
I loved her really long boots. I thought that was really, really cute. I love her acting. She was very like sensual, like Catwoman is, and like very serious at the same time. Eat the rich, you know. I heard at the movie. Oh my goodness. I heard like two people behind me go, ugh. You know the scene where she's talking to Batman about the white rich people?
Mm-hmm.
I turned around, it was white people.
Oh my god.
I was like it was great. Because Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises and in every other thing, she hates the rich. And like I even think the white Catwoman even points out like, yeah, it's just white rich people in Gotham. They're shit. But I thought it was funny when she was saying that stuff. It's very real.
Yeah. So the craziest part of her, like of the whole story and including her, is the twist at the end of the movie of Falcone being Selina's biological father and also murdering her mom. This man is just ruthless. Also, we don't know when Falcone killed her mom in her life, but this also leaves a lot of questions. Like, how many people did he have kids with? How many mothers did he kill too? And when she tried to kill him, he had her pinned down and killing Selina, saying, "You're gonna die just like your mother." And it's something along the lines of that. The man give no fucks. And I'll get more into him later, but that to me was the craziest bit.
I thought it was like scary because do you think he was attracted to her in a way?
In a sense, yes, but I don't think too much about it because I was like, at the end she revealed that, hey, that's her dad.
I thought it was so weird. The first time I watched it, I was like, this is weird. I don't like it. But like it makes sense. He didn't know. I think in a way he knew he had a daughter. He didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, honestly, he could have had many daughters or sons with any other lady in that club because he seems to like hit on all of them.
So next up, let's talk about the Penguin, also known as Oz, also known as Oswald Cobblepot. First and foremost, Colin Farrell is an amazing penguin because I deadass thought that it was like a big fat dude acting like as the Penguin and not like this refined like looking man like Colin Farrell like portraying him.
I know. I thought they got a different actor. Till I went to look at the cast, I was like, holy shit, this movie better be at the Oscars because of the makeup. Unrecognizable.
When that dude did that like interview with like Jim Fallon and he's like, oh yeah, with the prosthetics and all this other stuff, I'm like, wait, what? That's you?
You're like, you? I can see it in the eyes and eyebrows, but everything else was just deserves some type of word. It was really good.
Yeah, and he went up to like Jeffrey Wright, who played Jim Gordon, and he was like, "Hey, how you doing, man?" And then he's like, the dude looked at him, he's like, oh, "Okay," and he went to go talk to Matt Reeves, saying like, "Who is this random guy? Can you get him offset?" And then Matt Reeves told him who it was, and he came back to him. He's like, "Colin,
Oh,
is that you?"
I'm dead.
It was
That's
funny.
funny. I wouldn't be able to recognize him either. The
Mm,
nose. God, just I can't get over the
The
detail on it.
scar, I'm like the
Yes.
big fat scar on his side, the like the receding hairline.
The neck matching to the face. So good. I wish I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's really good.
Yeah, the man is so cool. The scars, his acting is just great.
The laugh. I
I
thought it
mean,
was
it was a very light laugh. I paid
good.
no
It gave
too
me
attention.
chills.
I paid no attention to it, but yeah, he was a man that gave no shits. He was a lower level crime boss compared to Carmine Falcone. Since Falcone is more powerful, Penguin can't do much since he doesn't have the power.
I know he's a little. I was gonna say he's a little bitch, but like he holds the umbrella for Falcone, so he's kind of like a nobody. But is he like the main drug lord for those little teardrops or whatever?
He's one of the guys that like obviously does all the work. So
Ah,
Falcone is the top crime boss, and obviously he has other people working for him. Penguin being one of those guys working underneath.
yeah, I was like, he's not that big yet, but he's definitely known because of the clip.
But since Falcone got arrested, that gave obviously the Penguin the opportunity to rise up.
Take over. I want to see that.
So now obviously the best part of the Penguin and Batman was that whole car chase sequence, like where Batman was chasing him down with his Batmobile going through cars, trucks, and shit, and then the explosion from the back of the truck making Penguin flip over, and Batman walking over slowly with him was
Like,
so badass, dude.
oh my god, that scene! I just got chills just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, it was good.
Oh my god, it was so fucking crazy. And the fact that the fire and rain was not CGI and it was real, like shit was fucking crazy. That shit like blew my mind.
I wonder, do you know how many like tries did it take him to do that final part?
I don't
I want
know.
to know because it looks like it was our first try and it was just completely perfect.
Yeah, it
And
just looked amazing.
I can't get over it. And I'm really happy at how long the car scene was because I really love cars and I love any Batmobile that he has is badass. And the fact that he was working on it. Oh my god, he was building it himself. And like I could see in the background, I'm like, oh my god, he's building a car. It was me. I was so
So,
excited. And it was just, oh my god, I cannot get over it.
but that leads us to my next point, which is the Batmobile and its motorcycles too. Batman's Batmobile being a literal race car, like that Bruce built when he was a teenager. He bought this car when he was younger, built it in his man cave to be like the fastest car on the road. And one thing I did not notice till TikTok video pointed out is that Batmobile actually stalled after moving the inch forward, giving the Penguin the opportunity to flee, forcing Batman to turn off and turn back on his car, which is one of the like a funny thing that the car community could like relate to.
Yes, sir. That's why I loved it. That's what they do when people are street racing. They're like, like, let's go. Come at me. That's what I loved it. And
Yeah.
it did give him a big ass chance, but not enough because the Batmobile's fucking fast and he just went and caught him.
Mm-hmm. That
Loved
shit
it.
was crazy. And when I went to the store the other day, I saw this cool Lego Technic Batmobile, and it was like the big boy. And I'll show you photos, and I'll pull up photos on the screen as well. And I kind of maybe want to get it because it looks so cool, dude.
I need Legos for the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like the small set. They're so cute. You
Mm-hmm.
should get the Batmobile.
No,
Christmas, birthday.
no, it's not the small one. I'm talking about the big,
No,
big.
the big one. I've seen the big one.
Yeah, that shit
That
looked
shit's
crazy.
scary.
It looks so cool. Even though
Put it on your bucket
I
list.
have no room at all to put it in my background, but I want to have it.
I would too. That's oh my god. I'm still hunting for at least a Funko Pop because they sold out. I have
That's
not
what
been able to
that
find them anymore.
that's why immediately after the movie release, like I went to go buy these guys instantly. And then afterwards, I found out Bruce Wayne was there too, so I picked them up instantly too. And then guess what? Like a few days later when I went back, they're all gone.
Dude, I know. I know. I'm trying to at least get one Batman. I don't care which one it is. I just want one cute little Batman.
In my other video, I talked about this. Is that there's obviously the exclusive ones. Obviously, we have the Target exclusive Bruce Wayne. Then we have like the Batman with his suit beaten up. Then we have one that's Funko.com where it's waiting with his jumpsuit. And the last one is the one I definitely want was him taking his mask off and his with his black makeup.
His eyeliner, yes, I've seen that one. Do they have a release date yet?
For that one, it's already released. You can buy it online. It's an online exclusive from a specific website.
I'm gonna get that one.
I can send you the link afterwards.
Yes, I'll most likely be able to get at least that one.
Yeah, because that shit looks so beautiful, dude.
It's
You
so
have
cute.
no idea. I saw that. I'm like, shit, I want that in my collection.
I would too, dude. It looks so good. Is that their main spot for now?
This is where they're just gonna stay for now because obviously we're making this video. It'd rather be right here in the background. It makes sense with the whole theme, everything, you know.
I love them there. They fit perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Also taking this time to talk about the motorcycle that both Selina and Batman use. There isn't too much to say. The design is simple, nice. Batman's motorcycle front has a symbol like shaped like a bat, which is adorable.
The little ears.
Yeah, with the little ears. It's very cute looking. Selina's motorcycle is just a simple bike, but another thing I noticed that she actually has cat carriers on the side of it, so she can actually carry like 2 cats. Even though she has
I thought that was a nice touch.
Even though she has like 50 of them, she can only carry 2.
I know. She probably takes every single day. She takes turns. She's like, okay, you're next, and then you're coming with me.
Yeah.
I think it was cute. I don't know how big their purchases were, because in every other movie the Batmobile is fucking crazy looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has way more detail than that, so I feel like they might have just put it all on the car, or he has yet to focus on buying a cooler motorcycle.
Yeah, obviously for vehicle wise it went more to the Batmobile.
He's a car guy.
Yeah, he's a car guy. Is that at the end I love how she separates from Bruce and she decides to go to Bloodhaven, one of the neighboring cities to Gotham. And she's like, come with me. And Bruce is right there. He's deciding whether he should go or not. Like, live a life of happiness or stick with Gotham. But you know he has to stay with Gotham.
It's his city, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He calls it, like, even though his parents died there, I can't believe how close he holds it to his heart. But at the same time, I guess I believe it because he wants to fight that evil out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would want to move out.
Oh my god. Yeah, are you joking? I would definitely move out of Gotham.
Like, literally, I have all the money possible. My parents just died. Yeet.
No, I mean just being a regular resident in Gotham, I wouldn't live there to begin with.
That's true.
Like cities to avoid, Arkansas, or places to avoid in US, Arkansas.
Gotham.
Gotham. Oh, definitely no.
Oh gosh. Yeah, no. As a regular citizen.
Metropolis. Didn't Superman destroy that city? Yeah, no.
I think so.
No,
he's destroying buildings.
Mm-hmm.
More than Batman ever will.
All right, next topic. Carmine Falcone, aka the Big Boss, aka the real mayor. So Carmine Falcone is an old mob boss, but a powerful and dangerous man. He has built up his power through the years. One of the main reasons as to why he is powerful is because of Thomas Wayne's plan as mayor called the Renewal Fund, which would have helped Gotham's orphanage, which is also Wayne Manor. But after his death, the whole Renewal Fund was unfinished, and the mob used it to steal money from the orphanage. In quotes, everyone got a piece, end quotes, which is said by District Attorney Phil Coulson. But Falcone wanted more. And this is also why it made the Riddler the way he is. Other than Riddler being sort of tied to Bruce's past, Falcone has a direct connection to Bruce and his past more than we thought, which is very interesting. And this actually leads us to Thomas Wayne.
He's a dick. Dude, I mean, the guts to go to the freaking funeral of the mayor. That's dark. That he's not even scared of the Riddler. In a way, he knows that they'll never find out because everybody knows to keep their mouths shut because he's gonna hurt their families. He's just dark, man. I'm glad he. I know Batman didn't want him dead, but I
Yeah,
did.
but like obviously Falcone wasn't like he wasn't in like any trouble until like the news. I think it was the Riddler that sent it to the news that Carmine Falcone was the one responsible for a lot of stuff. So he's like, oh shit. And then Selina came up behind him and she's like, hey dad. And he's like,
Dude, scene.
what?
Who? Do you remember me? No. He's a
Who?
player.
Yeah, he's definitely a player.
Dude, that scene was good though. I kind of wanted her to get a shot, at least on the arm.
At least
She's
somewhere,
been through
dude.
enough shit, dude. Shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
There's like he's like a big part of the movie, but at the same time, I don't have very much to say about
Yeah, I didn't have too much to say about him, but like uh most of my thing comes from my next topic. Next point. Thomas's Wayne biggest mistake, and is he a good man? So now before I say what Thomas's Wayne big mistake was, let's talk about him first. There isn't too much information about Thomas other than him running for mayor 20 years ago. His big plan, which I stated before, was the renewal fund, and he died before he could have finished the project and resolved any like minor issues with it. Later on in his campaign, Thomas was under some tension slash heat as a reporter by the name of Edward Elliot, grandfather of Thomas Elliot, aka the Hush. He did some research on Martha Wayne and her past mental issues, which made Thomas send him hush money or a cease and desist letter, but the reporter denied it. This caused Thomas to go to Falcone, and he asked him to put the fear in God in him. End quote. But after Falcone tried to scare the reporter, it didn't work, which caused Falcone and his men to kill the reporter. What we didn't find out until later, when Bruce went to Alfred at the hospital and told him that Alfred lied to him, thinking his father wasn't a good man after all, Alfred argued back, telling Bruce the rest of the story, saying that Thomas was a good man and that he was terrified because of Falcone killing the reporter. And this is where he made another mistake, telling Falcone that he's gonna go to the police, telling him that Falcone killed the reporter and everything. This caused Falcone to send his men out to kill both Martha and Thomas Wayne.
Hold on.
Okay, I was about to
Let me
say,
get my thoughts together.
are you shooketh?
Yes. Yes, because I thought we didn't know who killed the parents.
Like Falcone had a like I said, Falcone was the mayor of like Gotham for years,
The whole
and
freaking city.
he had a hand in many different like areas. So he knows that if someone tries to go against him, he can send any of his men to go after and kill that like anyone.
Rid of the issue, yeah.
Exactly.
I honestly respect Thomas Wayne for trying to scare a reporter from like taking out dirty laundry of their family, because I wouldn't want like people to know that my wife went through hell at Arkham because she was going through some stuff.
Yeah.
She could have just been depression.
Well, it was because for Martha Wayne and her backstory, that's the reason why she was in and out mental institutes, was because many years when she was a child, her mother killed her father and then off herself right afterwards.
Yeah. So
And
she's gone through hell.
and she was traumatized for that for years. That say that she gone through mental institutions because she's just born crazy is just wrong. She went to mental institutions because maybe her mother had some issues like mental issues, but also like the death of her parents and her witnessing that.
That's
Yeah,
so depressing.
it was such a heavy toll on her.
Okay, I have like 15-20 minutes before I have to like take off my makeup and rush to work.
Okay, so let's get through this quickly, shall we? All right, so let me do the Riddler. Okay, so next up, we have the Riddler. The Riddler is an insane serial killer. I love how well Paul Dano covered this, which is crazy. So props for him for his amazing acting. So the Riddler and Bruce are both connected. Once again, referencing the prologue from 3C Films. Edward, Riddler, and Bruce are both orphans. The Riddler, among other children, lived in Wayne Manor as the orphanage. The mob stole the money from the renewal fund, which that was for the orphanage, and this is one of the many reasons as to why Riddler hates the Waynes. After the years of having no money to help the children, the kids who died and hating the Waynes can be the reason as to why he turned mentally crazy, which caused him to actually burn down the manor at one point when he was younger, which Gordon actually mentioned at one point in the movie, saying the orphanage that got burnt down 4 years ago. Going back to what I was saying, how Riddler and Bruce are connected, one thing I noticed how both Bruce and Riddler keep a journal. Bruce being a teenage girl, right, like writing and being mysterious, while the Riddler having the sort of psychotic journals being written in code, having crazy plans for him killing the mayor. I love how both of them keep a journal and is written very differently, showing different perspectives of two people that came from the same bullpen. The Riddler overall is a crazy murderer, and that makes the viewer intrigued to see what he kind of the crazy shit he got going on, what the next thing he's
Hell
gonna
yeah.
do. Because people love crime documentaries about killers, and this is like on the same level.
Yeah, I mean, it gave me Saw vibes, and for a second, I told my friend, I was like, I think I'm watching like a fucking scary movie because it was so gory. And
Mm-hmm.
in general, Batman is that way, or at least the villains are. Like, the Joker's fucking disgusting, bro. He's insane. So it was really awesome to see that Riddler is that way. So I wonder what Joker got in jail for, like, if he's done worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just so gory. The Riddler went down a freaking mental spiral of like, I saw children die of hunger, of the cold. I saw us lose our orphanage to like really bad people. He burned it down, or you think he burned it down?
He did burn it down.
He did burn it. He
Mm-hmm.
fucking burned it down.
Yeah,
It's just crazy.
yeah, and it's just overall just crazy, like that interrogation scene.
I still like just think about it from memory. I
Uh-huh.
know a lot of people are like, I think he in a way knows that Batman is Bruce. 'Cause
Really?
a lot of people think that he doesn't. Like he doesn't have a clue. And I mean, he does have a line like, "Oh, this wasn't supposed to go this way. No, 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 no," and like goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it just made me wonder, why is he over pronouncing Bruce Wayne's name
Yeah.
at jail? Like, you're being recorded, and then the camera pans to the camera recording.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first thought of like, he's trying to tell like police officers like, this is Bruce Wayne, take him to jail because they all hate him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just over pronouncing his name over and over again, and I don't know if it was for the camera or if it was to just fuck around with Batman's brain.
It was definitely to fuck around with Batman's brain because he was like he thought he knew, but at the end he's like, oh, he's the only one we didn't get.
Yeah, and I'm like, it made me really anxious for him, and I like to see the fear in Bruce's eyes,
Mm-hmm.
because it pans to Batman's eyes like, me?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't catch me? Who? Like, he looked nervous, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was like, maybe that's why he's overpronouncing the name, to tell everybody that could probably be watching that this is Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Get him. I caught him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so towards the end,
Mm-hmm.
when the movie completely ends, there's an end credit scene about the Riddler's website. And I thought that was such an interesting twist, because everybody that's an MCU lover knows that there's always a crazy end credit scene and it gives you a hint to the next movie. And I'm really glad that this did it differently. It made you work for it just like Batman did. Are you gonna link them the tweets or the website to
Yeah.
the Riddler's website?
So the
Okay.
the website actually has been taken down, but I have like a couple links to it to the Twitter post.
When did they take it down?
They took it down like over a few weeks ago.
I loved it. I kind of was wishing that was a way to like use it as PR to push more about whenever the movie's gonna get worked on again.
That's what they're thinking too. Fans are thinking that too.
I hope it comes back. If you ever want to check it out or like check out the tweets, they show you more of Riddler's creepy ass room. It like makes, when I watched it and when I saw the pictures that you sent me,
Mm-hmm.
it made me feel so claustrophobic. It's like he still lives in a way that he lived at the orphanage, just like filthy and like too many people, too many kids, too much going on.
Okay, so next up, I'll quickly go through the Joker. In a newly released deleted scene, we see Barry Kogan play a disfigured green-haired man to us all as the Joker. In the deleted scene, we see Batman going through Arkham, asking the Joker what is his thoughts on the Riddler and his killings. Joker proceeds to tell Batman that the Riddler and the Bats are similar, while giving out a sinister laugh similar to Heath Ledger's laugh. Though some people don't like the way he looks, I love it. The way his body is just deformed, saying that toxic chemicals affected his skin, his hair, his teeth, and everything. It just looks crazy.
Have you seen the pictures where they like tone it down so you can see more of his face?
Yes.
It looks so good, and in a way I wish they kept it in, but I'm glad they didn't because it would take away from the Riddler's like
Yeah.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, and I hope to see it. If I do feel like he might have a hard time speaking because it looks like they added like a whole ass layer to the
Mm-hmm.
mouth. But I'm really happy to see their relationship because in every other thing, Batman does go to the Joker for help to deal with crazy people because in a way he doesn't know how to do it, so he goes to the Joker for help. Or like, have
Yeah.
you seen the Batman the Lego movie?
No, I haven't.
Batman cannot live up without the Joker.
Yeah.
Like they like love hate each other, and that's like the tiny vibe that that scene gave me, and I liked it.
Okay, so let me go through this quickly. Okay, so the only issue of the movie was the voice acting. Now Robert and the whole Batman voice was great, but I would like to hear him speak up and the rest of the cast speak up too. Some scenes were a bit too quiet and a little hard to understand, and what I wanted to hear what they said, but that's obviously due to the whole dark noir edgy feel to the movie, which I didn't mind at all. But it's one of the reasons why I'm taking the point 2 points off. Another is at the scene where he was at the city hall for the mayor's funeral, and when Batman talked to the DA Phil Coulson, he had the bomb around his neck. When it exploded, I wanted to see all the blood and gore of that dude's being head blown off, and I wanted Batman to be covered in blood and brain bits from the guy. I also would have been so cool and crazy if the camera panned and we see the dude's eye like rolling off, and we see Batman like looking at it. But maybe that's just a me thing.
No, I completely agree with you on that. Like I wonder cuz he was at the freaking officer's table
Mm-hmm.
all clean. So I wonder if like the nurses might have cleaned his suit or something. I kind of wanted them to keep a little bit of splash of blood on him or
Mm-hmm.
his face. Like he just went through a fucking explosion. He
Mm-hmm.
should be dusty and full of blood.
Yeah.
And when I went to Second and Charles, I read a little bit of a Joker comic,
Mm-hmm.
and in the Joker comics, you see heads being blown off and blood,
Mm-hmm.
and like I hope maybe they hear us, and in the next movie they add a little bit more blood. I know Batman doesn't like killing people, but I want to see the bad people kill people more violently.
Yeah.
Like it was already like gross enough with like the helmet on that guy and like the rat eating him. Like that looks
Yeah.
nasty. So I agree with you.
So yeah, overall, one thing I want to fish out with is the amount of time people watch this fucking movie. I saw someone on Twitter watched it around 6 times. So I'll pull these I'll pull these tweets up here in your face, but like it's pretty insane.
That's 3 hours of your day. Holy fuck. It's like, and it includes you driving to the theater, buying food, buying the I hope they get some kind of discount or they have AMC stubs or
Yeah.
they're a stock member. Because holy shit. I've only seen it twice.
So overall, like I love the Batman movie. It's just amazing in every aspect. The references it took from certain comics, the writing of each individual character is perfect. The cinematography throughout the whole movie is just amazing. And I want superhero movies to have great cinematography and writing, which you can learn from this movie. The unique creation of Gotham is also amazing. Now, rating this movie, Andy and I will do the right thing and set on one score. So I would score this movie a 9.8 out of 10. I love this movie and it's definitely worth the watch and the 3 hours.
So you know how I rated it a 9.5?
Yes.
I honestly might go your way and rate it a 9.8 because I feel like talking about the movie, like we've talked about the movie for how long? Almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
It made me like really think like, you know what? I liked every single character and I love the way they recorded it. I want Marvel to learn more about it because it didn't feel like a lot of green screen and CGI. You know what I mean? Like it felt like they actually went to a city, like the cemetery that we're at.
Mm-hmm.
That was real. I want more real scenery,
Yeah.
not a lot of CGI and
Yeah.
just green blue screen, which is what Marvel does a lot. So I want them to give it a try and like learn from this movie because it did really good,
Mm-hmm.
even if it takes time.
Yeah, there for sure. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that film. Me and Andy talking about it. I'm gonna try to wrap this up quickly because Andy does have to go. So, anyways, go ahead and follow Andy on multiple different socials, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok at AndySolo54. I'll have the links down below.
Yeah, so many.
Yeah.
Same thing. Thank you for having me again. I'm so sorry it took so long. Scheduling is freaking ass. But I'm so happy I got the chance to do this again. I think it's so fun talking about movies with you. Please watch his TikToks. One of them did really good, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy. Oh my
Thanks.
god. And I hope that you keep doing this and follow him on YouTube and Twitter so you know when he's posting. Same with Instagram. I believe you update them there too.
Yes.
So please go give him a follow and subscribe and like the video if you really enjoyed us geeking out about this really good film, like
Mm-hmm.
movie. But yeah, that is all.
All right. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Perfect.